beautiful.
And liftoff of Crew 9. Go SpaceX, go Falcon, go NASA.
And with that, let's take a moment to learn a bit more about the vehicle supporting today's mission. That is Falcon 9 on your screen. It is a two-stage rocket that is 229 feet tall and is getting ready for liftoff in just under 8.5 minutes. At launch, it produces more than 1.7 million pounds of thrust. And rockets like Falcon 9 don't use all of that power just to go straight up. Early in flight, Falcon 9 performs a gravity turn that is a smooth pitch maneuver that tilts the rocket sideways to build up horizontal velocity. You might hear this call out about 10 seconds into launch as vehicle pitching downrange. Once the first stage completes its portion of the mission, it shuts down and separates. A staged rocket like Falcon 9 sheds the booster so stage 2 and the payload can keep climbing faster and more efficiently. After stage separation, today's booster will land on our drone ship, a Shortfall of Gravitas, which is currently stationed in the Atlantic Ocean. And this particular booster is going to be returning to Earth for its first time. The second stage takes over from there, powered by a single Merlin vacuum engine, also known as the MVAC. With its extended nozzle and optimized design, the MVAC drives maximum performance in the vacuum of space. And topping it all off is the payload fairing. It's a 17-foot wide carbon composite shell that protects the satellite during the uphill trip through the atmosphere. About 3 minutes into flight, both halves of the fairing will separate and parachute back to Earth. Both fairing halves...
Engine trill has started.
Good call out. Both fairing halves have seen multiple flights, one flying for its 28th time today and the other for its 5th. If recovery goes to plan, the fairings will be pulled from the ocean and prepped to fly again. So much of what makes Falcon 9 remarkable happens in flight. The stages separating, the first stage landing itself on a drone ship in the middle of the ocean, the fairings parachuting back, all to get ready for another flight to space. At T-minus 6 minutes and just under 30 seconds, Falcon 9 is tracking no issues.
Stage 1, RP1 load complete.
And our payload is healthy. The Falcon 9 team reported on console at T-minus 2 hours and 15 minutes and began their final checks of the launch vehicle and ground systems. As a reminder, if we do not launch today, we do have a backup opportunity tomorrow at 10:05 a.m. Eastern. Next up in the countdown, the Transporter Erector, or TE, will begin to retract away from Falcon 9. That's the large truss structure you see standing next to the rocket. It's hinged at the base and connected to the launch mount beneath the first stage. First, we'll see the clamp arms open around the second stage, and then the TE will begin to pivot back, slowly swinging away from the rocket. It'll reach its full recline by T-minus 3 minutes and 40 seconds. Just a quick correction, the window tomorrow begins at, or the backup opportunity will begin tomorrow at 8:57 a.m. Eastern Time. You might also hear the TE referred to as the Strongback. It's the same structure, just a different name. It also does a lot more than lean. It rolls Falcon 9 out to the pad, raises it vertical.
Vehicle tanks are pressurizing for Strongback retract.
And it stays connected through to the final seconds of launch. It provides fuel, power, telemetry, and command connections between ground systems and the rocket. We're about 20 seconds away from starting to see those clamp arms opening up around the second stage on our vehicle stack. Those clamp arms help stabilize the second stage during fueling, and
lower has started.
They also prevent movement in high winds. And once they're open, the rocket will be fully free at the top. You can see a great view of those clamp arms opening up just now. Those clamp arms are open, and the rocket is now free. You can see on your screen as the Strongback is slowly reclining away. Right now, both stages are nearly fully loaded with about 1 million pounds of propellant. That includes RP1, a highly refined kerosene, and liquid oxygen chilled to under 300 degrees below zero. Propellant is loaded late in the countdown, and that's intentional. Colder propellants are denser, and denser propellants mean more performance out of the same tanks. The colder it is, the more mass you can move. Before any of that propellant flows, though, the plumbing and engines are chilled down. That prevents thermal shock and boil off when the ultra-cold liquid starts moving. And you might hear that referred to as engine chill.
Stage 1, LOX load complete.
As you just heard over the nets, there's confirmation of Stage 1 liquid oxygen loading completion. The second stage will finish up about a minute later. The tanks are also pressurized using helium. That helium is chilled too, so it stays compatible with their cryogenic plumbing. During flight, that pressurization helps force propellant into the engines as the tanks empty. At T-minus 60 seconds, Falcon 9 will enter startup. At that point, the rocket's onboard flight computers will take over. And from there on out, the countdown is fully autonomous. Just inside of T-minus 2 seconds, the 9 Merlin 1D engines will ignite, and once they're at full power, Falcon 9 will lift off the pad and begin climbing.
Stage 2, LOX load complete.
Great call out. So the first and second stages are now fully loaded with over 1 million pounds of rocket-grade kerosene fuel and liquid oxygen. You've probably noticed those white clouds venting from the rocket. That isn't smoke, it's actually condensation. As the liquid oxygen warms inside the tanks, some of it boils off. That gas is then vented to manage pressure. When the vented oxygen hits the warm, humid Florida air, it instantly condenses into clouds.
Gas launch closeout has started.
Falcon 9 is in startup.
At T-minus 1 minute, Falcon 9 is in startup.
Hold.
Launch abort is running.
All right, team, that was a scrub due to weather. Let's go ahead and proceed into the non-crewed scrub section of procedure 1.160 and step into offloads.
As you may have heard on the comms, we're standing down from today's launch attempt due to weather. The vehicle and payload remain in good health, and our next launch opportunity is tomorrow at 8:57 a.m. Eastern Time. Stay tuned this morning for the splashdown of NASA's Crew 10, coming up here shortly at 7:15 a.m. Pacific Time off the coast of California. As always, thank you for watching, and we hope to see everyone back here for our next attempt.
Oh, that's beautiful!
And with Crew 9, go SpaceX, go Falcon, go NASA.